Welcome to Hempsational Nation, where you don't need a reservation. I said, Mama, hello, stand with open arms. Here to warn you with a one more time. Yeah, one more time, baby. Welcome to the nation. I said, welcome to the nation.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to another episode of the Hempy Hour. I will be one of your hosts, Gina, Mama Epps, with my very favorite person in the world.
Oh, you're my favorite too.
In the whole world.
In the whole universe.
Big place.
Yeah, I'm Lola Carter, formerly known as Lois.
Yes. Miss Lolo and I,
Hi,
the
guys.
Hemp Sisters from Hemp Sisters Nation. We are very excited today. We have one of our industry favorites, our little cannabis queen. Who do we have today, Miss Lolo?
Lile, who is responsible for our
Glowing skin.
Our seriously
We did not look like this a month and a half ago.
ever. Maybe when I was a
Or
kid.
the last 40 years.
Over the last 40 years, you know. We're not going to talk about that today. We're going to talk about why we're really feeling good today.
Yes.
With Mandy, who's made a lot of that possible.
Absolutely.
Try to get her in a room.
Let's bring in Mandy. Come on down. Yeah.
Hello, love.
Hi.
Cute still, too.
Hi, girls.
Hello, love.
How you doing today?
I'm good. Just ready to chit chat with you two. And
Yes.
I can't stop looking. Every time y'all put a video up, I can't stop looking at your face. It looks so good.
I mean,
It's crazy, Mandy. And you know this because we were talking a little bit ago, but I'm 47, going on 48, and you personally are the first person in my entire life to bring self-care to my face.
Yeah, and I've tried. I mean, I watched her give per child birth to this life, and she don't live.
My orifices and still nothing. You know, like,
Oh,
so you have
I
literally
love that.
changed my life. You've changed my
well,
life, and
I'm just happy that you got to start with a good product that gave you a good
Oh my
result, because so many people go through so many trying to find that perfect product, and you started with the perfect product.
No, right. And I can't imagine how much money people waste. Like I can't fathom trying to just figure out what works for them because everyone's so different.
Especially
It's a really,
your
I
acne.
tell you, if anybody's listening that doesn't really do anything with their skin and they're in Gina's similar situation, if you do try starting off with Mandy, the reason why you're going to get interested about your skincare is because it's working, and you're going to start looking. You're going to start looking for products like that to support. You know, once you see that happening, you're not going to be flipping through the wallet trying to, fix things. It's really we have completely different issues, and it really worked for totally different things. You know, that's cannabis, right? And not to mention, I did read your ingredients. I mean, just well thought out. What brought you to these formulations like this?
Well, okay, so I became an esthetician at the age of 20. So I'm 45. I'll be 45 in September. I'll be making that 45 mark.
Yes.
So I'm not far behind y'all for you over there.
No.
I'm not far. But I've always been obsessed with ingredients, not to a point where I don't go, if I go to someone's house, I'm not going to use their hand soap, or if my grandma washes my clothes in Tide or something, I'm not going to not put it on. But to a point where in my own everyday household decisions, starting from a very early age at 20, I just became very obsessed with plant oils. I wanted something that was more natural, something where I knew going in, I didn't want my clients calling me every night going, this burns or this itches, or, I wanted to make sure I always worked with a product that was just kind of just worked with your naturals, your
skin.
Yeah,
right.
with you, that was not synthetic, that wasn't chemical or parabens or phosphates or anything that your body didn't recognize. And before, I worked with rosemary, thyme, geranium, cypress, lavender, did a lot of products with a brand called Yonka that still today is one of the leading brands, I think, in plant-based products. They just haven't done anything CBD based yet, which I hope that they eventually add this ingredient. It's going to make their product even better, Yonka.
Sure.
Yeah, there you
Well,
go.
and you're building all the foundational research for that. So,
Right. But
Yeah.
I love plant oils. I watched what it did in my skincare clinic. I built my first clinic at 20 as well. And I worked alongside a very well-known physician, whom also was my partner at the time as well. But I got to watch a lot and I got to learn a lot about herbs. And I'm just not one of those people that if I have an ache, I run and take a Tylenol, or I run and grab a Neosporin or a cortisone. I really try to find what are all the natural approaches first. If we get a sore throat, we're not running for Robitussin and all that at the pharmacy. I'm mixing honey, lemon. I mean, I'm doing all these easy made nature recipes versus buying that big pharma side of things.
I forget that I have these things in my fridge.
So that went on for a long time. My search for the perfect product when I had my own skincare clinic, and I did not have the opportunity to create a product at that time, or nor did I have the knowledge at that early on. But I knew what I wanted from a product, and just kind of branched from that, switching my laundry detergent, then switching my hand soaps, and then switching my dish detergent. Because what people don't understand is we have to be counterintuitive. Like, I can fix your skin all day long, but if you're going to go throw a bunch of, say your hands are dry, okay? And then I'm asking you, well, what are you using every day when you're washing your dishes? You're doing that every day. So that product that you're using every day, it matters. Because so many of those products are also responsible for thyroid issues, things that get really deep, that you're like, wow, how could that detergent had caused me to be in this bad place right now? But it can, because people are so sensitive to chemical ingredients and they're not aware of it. They don't know what they're putting on their body. They don't realize
it's just seeping into their skin.
And they don't realize how big this organ is, and as tough as it is,
and what it's supposed to do, and how it absorbs, and how it protects you from the environment.
Yes. I mean, without our skin, we can't live. So it's definitely a part of the body, I think, that for some reason is neglected. Just like Mama Epps mentioned that she'd never really got into a beauty, skincare, self-care routine. And so for that to be at 47 to start doing it, which thank God she has good genetics, but to have waited that late, to start.
Psychopath about it right now. Like it's an insane routine, morning and night.
There's a notebook in the bathroom, and I'm not.
This will never
spray this all day. I spray this mist all day. I call it my
so refreshing.
Jesus. I call it my come to Jesus. When I'm stressed out, I go to the bathroom and I just drench myself down in this. And I'm like, okay, just take a deep breath, light some.
It's all gonna be better.
But ingredients matter. So the question that you started with was the ingredients in my products, and I was very conscious of what went in the product. I also have to tell you, when my kid was born, I got even more obsessed with ingredients because now I'm bringing this fresh little baby into the world, and I hate to say this, but I'll say it on here. On my baby shower invitation, I swear to you, I wrote, "No one buy me any Johnson & Johnson products."
We had a conversation.
I won't use them.
Yeah. I mean,
I won't even give them away. They're going in the garbage. I'm not giving them to Goodwill. Who's going to sell them? No, they're going in the garbage.
And I even put the type of diaper that and this is the only diaper that my kids' ass will see, because I use the Honest diapers, Jessica Alba's brand, Honest Company. And the reason why is I think it was 70, maybe I'm wrong on the number. It's been 7 years, but it was close to, let's say 40 to 50 ingredients that were less in her diaper versus your Pampers or Huggies. So if you can use something that has 40 to 50 less ingredients that are chemical components, what are you going to put on your butt?
So much of this is because of the end consumer and our distribution and how that looks and how products are made and then sold globally. I mean, these extra ingredients are not necessary. They're for shelf stability. They have no function of the actual purpose. Right. To preserve investments, right?
It's political money.
I mean, it's on one hand, a lot of that is for like safety, whatever. And on the other hand, it's just cheaper ingredients, moving a product that is in demand at whatever cost.
Right.
We, for the last 10 years of our life, all we've seen is like a reversal of, you know, taking this type of thing out, because when you use this kind of shampoo, your body reacts and starts to create more formaldehyde. So now we have paraben free, and you have all of these tricklebacks and stuff. You know, I mean, if anybody, you know, if you could all go in your kitchen and like steep your own herbs and do your own thing, you'd be in a lot better of a position.
Right.
Healthy
Yeah,
wise.
I don't think people realize, like, every day when you get up this morning, you personally used probably 10 things this morning: toothpaste,
Sure.
deodorant, lotion,
Yeah.
you know, all the things that we mouthwash, all those things that we use every single day. I mean, those are just really products that you have to really start to look into and be like, is this ingredient good for me? Is this causing me to have this issue, or
Yeah.
Are
whatever
you
it may be?
are you connected to Howard Kaufman on LinkedIn?
I don't know. I'll have to look. I'm
I'll
so bad
shoot you
with
his
names.
profile. He's the CEO of Oral Care, ORL Care,
Yeah.
and his mouthwash and his toothpaste, it's all natural ingredients, it's pH
Love that.
balance. I mean, just incredible products. And when
Definitely
I
connect me, because
Yeah,
a lot
yeah,
of people ask me what to use, and I'll throw out some brands, but I'd prefer it be a brand that I could help, you know, that's a smaller
absolutely. Yeah, incredible. I'll make sure you guys are connected.
brand. Okay, perfect. That'd be great.
That's,
Yeah.
well, and just to, you know, maybe one more comment, the thing of having just one deodorant that's not necessarily great for you, maybe not a total impact over your life, having 50 things in your morning routine have just, you know, 10 times increased your risk of developing these things that they're not going to know for another generation or two, because that's all it's going to take, you know, for them to catch up to the science
And
of it.
here's something funny that I think's funny, Lois, that people say is, I'll hear the older people say, well, in my time, or I used baby powder all my life and nothing ever happened. And then now you hear the commercial on there
Yeah.
that
Cancers
if
are
you
running
use
amok.
it, so I'm looking at my grandmas and all the women who used to powder us all up. You know, I'm just thinking about those things when people say,
Right.
well, I used it all my life and it didn't do anything. Well, it did do something, because you're sick, lady, is what I want to tell some of them when I'm, you know,
Right.
you have,
Well, and
yeah.
yeah, and talc's a really good example of that, you know, because like in bentonite clay, you know, even certain clays and stuff, even though we use these alternatives, where they're picked from and brought from is always a concern too, you know. Is it maybe whether it be lead or whatever else? I forgot with clays, you know, because again, our environment, we're not kind of our environment. What are we pulling out of the earth too? So natural is good too, but also knowing, you know, like in your company, like where you're sourcing it from, what kind of grade of clay is this, you know, and those are important things too, because in a business where you're doing things natural, you're still trying to find ways to cut corners, because these are expensive things. And you can't do that if the bigger message is we were caring about the ingredients and the product, you know?
Yeah.
So it's really cool. Like when I look at your ingredients and stuff and, you know, kind of understand that method, it's nice to see that full picture being painted, you know what I mean? And supported. So kudos.
Yeah, it's been it's just been really exciting. And so I've always loved plant oils, but to be able to work with this specific plant, I mean, this is literally disrupting beauty, because it's never been able to be used before. And and like I said about the potency, the gold serum, it's beyond a beauty product. I have people using this for things that they're not getting relief with their clinical medicine. You know, there's so many things I can't say still or make claims about, but I have people using this for things that aren't just about beauty. And I have people reaching for this when they have, my dentist back home, her granddaughter burnt herself. She's 2, and she said, I got some gold serum. I said, put it on there. And she texted me the next day. She's like, it's like it never happened. It's like it never happened. And I'm like, I love that. Curling iron burns. I mean, I have people who've told me those things linger away. Yeah. That those linger around for a week sometimes, those burns. And this next day it's gone. So even with sunburns, you know, so it's
well, Mandy, you had said to me when you found out that I had surgery, you're like, once you're unwrapped, start putting it on your
She did.
So I started, you know, and I just got the bandage taken off four days ago, maybe. So for the last 4 days, and I have a picture from when I first took it off, and I'll take a picture after like a week and send it to you so you see. There's a
Yeah.
difference already. Like within days, there was it lighter every day.
Yeah.
You guys, I love seeing the photos. I love that I have the kind of community that keeps me in tune. You know, they always are
Yes.
sending me the photos, and I love that. And even on my postcards that I send out with all the products on there, the very first thing says, first take a selfie, because I want people to watch this change, because I've not
Right.
saw this happen with plant oils. I have saw some really good transformations in my 20 plus years of being an esthetician, but I've not saw a transformation happen this quick. So to me, it's our endocannabinoid system. It's those CB2
Right.
receptors. They're saying, "Hey, your body's been missing this. I needed you. Where have you been?" It's like
Right.
Yeah.
it is getting literally to the root of the problem, and
Right.
which is, we all know, the inflammation is the root to all the problems. You know, so
Right. And that's where the valenoid receptors really come into play with the skin. You know what I mean? And that I think, and I've been following over the last, I don't know, 6 months or so, like, because they're putting a lot more effort into researching skin for burn, wound, etc. So you find in there those little nuggets of, you know, how the bodies take, you know, cannabinoids or endocannabinoid system out of it, what the receptors' jobs are as far as our immune function and other things. And knowing about CBD and it's, you know, with atypical receptors, you start to build this type of puzzle, you know, like, I know you're saying it's really hard to talk about your products and stuff, but having like little nuggets of studies just kind of floating around where you are in your stratosphere really helps people to put the bigger picture together without the FDA saying you've painted too clear of a picture, you know, like words like soothing can get you knocked out. So
right.
Unfortunately we know that. So, but you know, I mean, it's really cool. What triggered me into another research paper was that thing you put up today with the woman in her foot. And her, she has some type of eczema or psoriasis.
She said the doctor called it a certain form of psoriasis, and
Okay.
that she's tried things for years,
Yeah.
and the lady works still. So you imagine she's standing on these feet all day
No.
long. She said they hurt her so bad. So to be able to, and I have another lady with another skin disorder that's pretty scary looking. It almost looks like ringworm all the way around her arm.
Yeah, I saw
but
that
it's
too.
it's raised, but it's been 4 weeks, and the number one thing that I want to hear from her is that it doesn't hurt anymore. I don't care if it's aesthetically gone or not. I want to know, do you feel better? Is this easier to touch? Because I know, having had surgeries myself throughout my life, when something's healing, it hurts. Or if you have kids, if you have a little grandbaby or kids and they're grabbing on your hands, and that's where her most part of her skin disorder is.
No.
She said, my grandkids haven't even been able to hold my grandkid in a long time, because when my grandkid grabs it, it hurts. And so now she can hold her grandkid again. Now she can unload the dishwasher and it don't hurt anymore. So the fact that the pain part of it is going away is what probably makes me the most excited. And then when the aesthetic part starts to look better, I'm even more excited. But I think that waking up to all the positive feedback that I've had, I just feel like I have an abundance of earth angels around me. I can't explain it, but I wake up every morning and I wake up in tears because I'm so happy and I'm so excited that these people are reaching out to me and like, I've had this redness all my life and never got to get rid of it, and now it's gone. So all these things that I'm hearing, and people are bothered. I mean, our face, look, we're from the neck up now. I mean, last year was the year of the neck up. I mean, what people are seeing. I mean, it's gonna be like that for a minute. It's like Rob, you know, our friend, our auditor, Rob said you can't be erect from the neck up, you know? Yeah. So I'm like, Rob had the best slogan, don't be erect from the neck up. So, you know, it's important.
Don't be erect from the neck up. The guy is like,
he's got taglines all day long, Rob does.
Yeah, no, he's being in some kind of improv situation, comedy wise.
He missed his calling. Sure. He did. And he's probably a very good auditor too, I'm sure, but I don't want to see him.
Being in this industry, when you're formulating a product, no matter whatever it be, a lip balm, I mean, whatever it may be, you know, I think that's probably the best reward when you're in the cannabis space, when you come from that feeling of we want to help people. So that reward comes back in a lot of ways, you know what I mean? So one way you're feeding your esthetician side and skin health, and the other side, it's a different kind of message. It's hope, because people come to cannabis when they're hopeless. I don't know why still, but they come when they're hopeless, and it's,
Right.
you know,
Well, Mandy nailed it with the pain.
yeah.
Like that's step one. You can't live even a decent life in chronic pain. Like it's impossible. I've been there. It's impossible. It doesn't matter how hard you try. Like it is impossible. So if you can break into that, everything else falls into place. And if people don't understand how life changing that is, and that's just one aspect. You know,
Yeah. And Mama, what's hard for me, or what's not hard for me to grasp, but while I get excited and I get so happy, it's hard for me to toot my own horn, and it's hard for me to grasp when people say this is life changing, because I've always had pretty good skin, so I never really had a skin issue, but I always had so much sympathy for people who did, because I knew that the kids were getting made fun of at school. And that was the number one thing that probably bothered me the most, was watching teenagers get bullied at school. I was always the girl on the bus that took up for everybody, and I always have been that way in my life. And I
like September and number one personality type. Yeah,
it hurts kids. It hurts kids. And when you go look at the medicines that they offer for children for acne, they're deep. I mean, you get into the secondary side effects of what's going on with Accutane, which already they say causes depression. You're putting a kid who's already depressed on a pill that's going to cause more depression, and it's going to take months to clear their skin up. So I've had a couple people come to me that's got off their Accutane, and they don't have to use it anymore. And
that's as good as it gets.
And so my product doesn't cause your liver to fall out your ass, so.
Right.
And if it does, put some Gold Serum
big,
on.
like, low component, but it's not a negative,
So I just have this, when they say it's life changing, I guess it's hard for me to be like, wow, maybe it is life changing. It is very much life changing.
Yeah, like how we started. 47 years, nothing. You changed my life. Like, that is not an exaggeration. Not only did you literally show me why I need to care about myself, you physically showed me that, but you can't unknow that. If you see this and learn it and don't utilize it, that's your fucking bad. Like, I mean, I'm never going back. This will be till I am taking my last breath. I will have some shiny, glowing fucking skin. You bet your ass.
You got it. And I think the best part of all this is I'm selling redemption at the end of the day. If you think about it, my dad was,
when I finally had the epiphany.
For people who,
Angels, it was weird.
For people who don't know my backstory, my dad did spend 14 years in prison. Of my youth, my dad was in prison. I visited more prisons than theme parks growing up.
How old were you, Mandy?
My dad, when he first went, I was around 7, 8. And then and then he'd get out for about 5 years, and then he'd violate parole, go back again. And the funny thing is, my dad worked a regular job, but he wanted more income. And that's what he did to do it, was sell marijuana. But I got to say, that's not all he sold. So I watched all walks of life come through our home as a young child. And I always tell people, I always could tell the difference of the people who were coming in for weed and the ones who were coming for pills. And it was they were different walks of life. I watched them. And they were different walks of life. So I watched this plant early on. And I since I was little, we've had grows in our house before grows were even popular and cool to go in. And so I did have a rocky childhood with cannabis, but I was never mad at the plant. I was mad because they kept arresting my dad for a plant. And so I couldn't figure out where the insanity. I'm like, this is insane. Go get the people that are molesting young children and leave my dad alone. He's just growing a plant behind my papa's barn. So they didn't like it. And so I think just being able to turn that stigma that I lived with all my life, because I was the drug dealer's daughter. Little girls couldn't come stay all night at my house because my dad was the drug dealer, but I could go to their house. My best friend's dad was the judge. And so they told me early on, he would say, Mandy, no matter who your dad is, you're not your dad. And you just don't let that define you. And I didn't. Beautiful. And I watched so many kids who had parents like mine that did let it define them. And some of them are dead now today. A lot of the people I graduated with are already dead. And it was from drugs. And that, especially coming from a small town, it's a problem. Drugs are a big problem. big problem there. And coming from Kentucky, where cannabis isn't legal yet, and I'm wanting to just shake them. I'm like, them in Tennessee both. Just wake up. You guys fentanyl. Your fentanyl problem is a problem. You know,
Right.
you need to get a hold of yourself. The whole state needs to just wake up.
Now in such a small populated state, I mean, to have those types of you know what I'm saying? For, you know, we're in Wisconsin now, we're from Illinois. You know, the entire population of our state is the Chicago population, where we come from. You know what I mean? So these types of smaller population, it becomes an absolute crisis.
Yes.
I mean, a crisis, because the percentage of the population, I mean, it's a literally quarter portions demographically of a state.
Right.
You know what I mean? That makes, you know, a whole bunch of things. And it's weird for Kentucky being like the original hemp state.
Right. They
just really ground. Yeah, like they really grounded themselves in like just seed. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't figure it out either, but I'll be excited. I feel like I'm helping, because a lot of my clients are coming from the Midwest. So I feel like I'm helping these soccer moms understand that the hangover is not fun when you have a child, and that the pharmaceuticals that they've all been taking to sit on the soccer field all day long and watch that kid are hurting their liver. So they need to just go out back and take a little puff and be done with all that extra garbage that they're doing.
No, but you know what? Professional people like yourself talking about these things brings confidence. I mean, we're not soccer moms per se, you know, we have different like views of the world and stuff, but these people are trapped in the pharmaceutical space and the trust with their doctor.
That's the perfect word.
They're trapped with it because they're also the same people that are fighting like that. I always think of it like the, you know, when you're in high school and there's like the cool kid table and then there's like, you know, wherever we sat, you know, but I mean, it's this ideology, this social structure of, you know, why would I take that? Because this is what's socially approved. Right. And how do I want to look in front of the other moms? Like, you know, we don't have that give a fuck situation happening over here. So it's a little bit different, but there's a lot of people that really do. Yeah, it's very important really to their churches, to their communities, to being that mom. So talking about it and bringing it like, no, I do that. I mean, when we like get on TikTok, it's just like really cool to see all the moms like jumping the wine, smoking the joint, you know?
Yeah. Well, and it needs to be talked about more, and specifically on LinkedIn. I mean, you guys are seeing this now. Like I talk about this shit every day on LinkedIn. The amount of messages and the engagement of people that have no clue. I mean, nothing about this plant. They didn't even know nutrition was an option. Hemp seeds, hemp oil, hemp protein. They didn't know
hemp protein. They had no clue.
Mind blowing me.
No clue. Like no clue. I mean, you'd have to have your eyes closed at the grocery store. Like it's everywhere at this point, and that's terrifying to me. Yeah. So like we haven't even delved into, you know, cannabinoids. Like we haven't talked about CBD, THC at all, because there's so much other shit they have no idea about. Like this is going to take forever, but they're so interested. Like
this is going to take forever.
I got enough notebooks.
Hello, are you listening? But like they're interested and they want to know, and their stigmas are there, and they're, you know, messaging me like, you know, like, so I don't have to be scared. Like I can use this plan. Like I can, you know what I mean? Like they're scared. Like I wasn't.
They're you know the fucking.
But they're, you know, the 30s, 40s.
My oil. Yeah,
100%.
So they thought they were going to fail a drug test with oil.
Exactly.
They're
like so there's because the only governing information that we have in the federal government is like dust off the book, right? That's all still there. Any attempt at new education is like a flag, right? Because the FDA didn't say you could say that.
Yeah, I mean, I lost my teaching job for being honest, like for fucking being honest. I mean, this shit's
so we're having all of these sideline conversations, which in itself over time actually becomes dangerous because of misinformation too. So there's this whole Wildy West type feeling to a lot of it, you know. But in that, again, those people that escape that conversation, that mindset, and take a dip in the devil's lettuce, right? When they do that, they really do find support on that side. There's not a lot of judgment over here. You know what I mean? Right. So, yeah.
More of the me, you, and Lois's on LinkedIn talking about this plant. And like, I'm glad you brought up TikTok. Because on TikTok, it's funny. You know, you go there at night, you like laugh your ass off for an hour. It's cool. But like TikTok moms, they're just getting all fucked up and they're, you know, everyone's smoking and they're talking about the stoners and like, that's the stigma. Like, you know what I mean? And that's what starts to bother me.
You're exactly right. That and just like there's a couple pages that I go on, or the groups that I go on that are cannabis, and all they're doing is showing pictures of their weed and smoking it, and I'm like,
Yeah.
there's so much more than this. And
Yeah, and that's a good
Right.
platform to do a little education. You can make that fun. You can, you know what I mean? Whatever. Like, but it's got to
Well,
change.
we use alcohol for that purpose, and moms think alcohol is a safer thing because that's what society again has shown
It's our
them
city,
to be
right.
responsible. So it's really like them just flipping it with another substance. When in alcohol, you don't have the medical component. You don't have the, please have this shot of whiskey every day for your best optimal health. You don't have that. So again, we further divide by what we support, and it's, that whole medical component that is getting shunned because everyone wants to hit the pocketbook and make on the rec side.
Right.
And unfortunately, the way that things work, pharmaceutical world hones the medical discussion about that. But that's what we can't let happen. So we can keep our mouths going,
I feel like I'm at an advantage here, girls, because I think with a skincare product, I'm introducing this ingredient to people, and they're not as of afraid as the topicals as they are the ingestibles or smoking, or so I feel like that it does with this. I'm trying to do more education. I'm trying to do more blogs. We've tried to up our blog game. I'm trying to do more little ingredient, posts and things throughout all my social media. But it's just, I think it's going to help lead people into, okay, well, that really helped my skin or my issue. Now let me try a hemp protein powder. And then they may go, and then they're going to see that, oh, wow, that didn't bloat me up like my whey powder did, or whatever, So they're going to start, like you said, it's going to be slow. This is going to take forever.
Right. That's going to be a shirt. It's going to take forever.
Just smoke already.
Right. Man.
Let's collaborate. Let's think about that. Do a LinkedIn Live together once in a while or something. And like, they need to see strong entrepreneurial women that have cannabis in their life all day, every day, just living these amazing lives. Like, they need to, this is what we do. It's part of our life. It doesn't define us. We're not sitting on the couch playing video games.
And the laundry baskets laid around are by choice. That's it.
Like,
we do what we want.
Like they can't, like you said, they can't get past the dare. Like, that's what they see. You know what I mean? So seeing people like us that just live every day like this, and it's part of our life,
functioning parents,
functioning fucking people.
This might be the only appropriate use of using cannabis as a gateway to knowledge, a gateway to more, to knowing more. Not just destruction and stuff.
Yeah, just so you've got to educate them as much as we can, but.
So you've got like a core line, six core products, right? Six. Got the cleanser, the mask.
You got the cleanser, the mist, the serum. I have the mist here.
Talk about the name of the cleanser for a second.
I love it, and I gotta tell you how I did that. I was at a restaurant with a pen and a napkin, and that is where most of my ideals came from, is me.
That's awesome.
So I'm at the table. I designed every label, every name, everything that's happened has been all me. Nobody's helped do any of this as far as like names, labels, colors, nothing. So I've been trying to do it all. But I forgot what I was even saying. I'm so excited.
Oh no, the filthy thing.
I haven't smoked yet. I haven't even smoked yet. So I have the 6 products. I have the cleanser. The cleanser's Filthy Face. So I was drawing out the label, and I was like, what am I going to name this? It's going to be black. So it looks dirty. It's charcoal. Right. And what is something that my mom used to say, like, go in there and clean your. So I'm thinking, go in there and clean your filthy face.
That's so Midwest.
Yeah. I said that 3 times. Now you're putting that you had a product connected to that. Clean your filthy hands.
Go in there and clean your filthy face. And so I thought, that's it. Filthy face.
Love it.
So I love
Smells
that.
so good.
Oh,
and Future Face, and Future Face, my mask. I love how it turned out. I love how cool it feels when you put it on. I love the blueberry, and you finally figured out the blueberry was the smell that you're smelling.
Yes, so good.
We were like both like this past what the fuck is
What
it?
is this?
Yeah, but the antioxidants,
so
that's what I was
yummy.
calling antioxidants, you know?
It's everything's just jam packed with free radical fighters, and CBD alone is an amazing free radical fighter. And here's a good example. This girl went outside. She said she'd showered. She put on her gold serum. She went outside. She's Scandinavian. She said she always burns her face always burns first. She said so. She was outside planting, and she was out there longer than she had hoped. So she had not put on her SPF. But she said, she texted me and said, does this have SPF in it? Because my face didn't burn, but my shoulders and everything were red, but my face didn't get touched. And I said, well, plants in general filter the sunlight. So plants is all of these plant oils. You got over 20 plant oils in there that's helping shield you, So it worked. It worked for her.
Plants
I can't say
create
it has
their
sun
own
protection, but it shields.
their own ultraviolet protection. That's how they survive in the sun like that.
Yes.
Really cool stuff.
So that, if you happen to forget your SPF, which I don't suggest anybody does, and it doesn't have, I can't say it has SPF in it. There are natural sun filtering oils in there, but we can't put a number on it. But I just can say that you can feel confident driving to the grocery store and not worried so much if you just have your gold on. So it's not.
I was really shocked to find the procedure for being able to put SPF and a number on a bottle. I was really blown by it. One, the cost of what that looks like and how pretty much knocks out the entire small business market right off the go. You know what I mean? Because of what you have to do and how it has to be tested. And I mean, how every batch has to be done a certain way to be able to use that label. You don't have to put that carrot seed oil has a natural SPF 15. People can find that out and they'll know. They know the difference.
But I love how the gold, and then we have the gold serum, and then we have the bath bricks, which I did as just a novelty product. I honestly don't sell a lot of bath bricks, and I'm trying to find a way to make them more cost effective because it's really hard for someone to take an $18 bath every day, because the bricks are $18. So I am trying to work on a way to make that a little more cost effective. And let's talk about the price of my serum compared to other serums. I've seen some upward of $150, $180 for a 1 ounce, and mine's $85. But if you're a member, it's $65. So I give it to my members for an exclusive price. Yeah.
I overused it. Like I told you, I overused it.
Thank you for drinking yours.
I just had a location in the house that, every time I walked by, I was just really happy with how things were going. So I just kept wanting to keep it hydrated like that, or soothe like that.
And I psychotically, like I said, used it like recommended, AM, PM, 2 pumps.
Yeah.
And I still have some left. So it lasts. If you use it as directed, it lasts. That was way more than a month.
Should last you a couple months. I
was going to say it'll probably be 2 months by the time it's gone.
Some can push it to
I just started getting that weird air squirt, don't get out of there.
So it lasts. That's huge. Yeah. So someone that, doesn't want to pay $85 needs to understand that's not $85 for a week.
No, what's your 4 ounce, $20 lotion, then you got to buy the other thing, you got to buy the other thing that. You're getting there anyway.
Yeah. And 2 pumps, so about 2 months to 2.5 months, that's pretty freaking good.
Yeah.
That's less than around $1 a day if they buy it for $65. So they're around $1 something a day, and that's just amazing. That's
no. And I want to, if I can, just my own personal experience. I have the common Tzone issue. You know what I mean? And again, something unique about your product. We use moisturizer when we have dry skin. When we have oily skin, we try to dry it up, whatever. It literally supports your body's natural sebum production. So it was soothing areas that were immediately dry, and needed some nice exfoliation. But, it did that. But it also, I'm so oily all the time, in here. And I'm not anymore. Unless I'm sweating or something, I'm just not. And balanced, you know what I mean?
That's exactly what I'm hearing across the board from everybody. Someone who's extremely oily finds that it balances out them. Someone who's dry finds out that it moisturizes them. So it is definitely a good balancer, just like cannabis that we already know is a good balancer for us, period.
Right.
But the thing about, it being, I don't know how to describe it, except that I'm obsessed with it myself, and it's my own product, and I'm obsessed every day that I'm this is amazing how those synergy of oils that I put in there that we've formulated just work so well together.
They really do.
You know,
It
you can
smells
put
divine.
you can put CBD and CBG in any lotion you want, but it's these other oils that I have in there that's driving this the right way.
No, you have the right carriers, no doubt, and you've done a phenomenal job on it.
And Lois, one thing you might notice when you're using the Potency Gold Serum is it does help speed up the cell renewal process. So when you're using it, there may be a few days where you feel a little dry or a little bit maybe here, but not here.
I noticed it like right here.
Okay, so look at
I'm glad
this.
you're bringing that.
When a snake sheds its skin, you know, not the
You're
whole.
literally rebuilding.
And you don't even see the whole snake skin sometimes. Sometimes you'll see pieces of it in the yard in different places. That's what's going on with your face. So you're speeding up the cell renewal process, and those are areas that'll just I usually tell them give it 2 days, and that whole unevenness passes.
That's the strangest part. You don't see it. I felt it, but you sure don't see it.
You can feel the difference, which is amazing. So it's all of that 47 years of dead skin.
Watch Gina's 47 years skin right? Man.
I mean, 47 years of dead skin's coming off there. So
don't ask her how she used to wash her face, for Christ's sake.
I don't want to know. I don't want to know.
Let alone dry it. The only thing worse than washing it was drying it. Like, you know, like, oh my God.
I'm dying inside over here.
In a girl's body. Like, I was just a tomboy, like sports. Like, I didn't have any time for giving a shit about anything else. Like, so
I get that. I get that. And I'm glad you mentioned that, because it's like some girls are tomboys growing up. You know, they are. But we have to explain to them that I don't care if you're foo-fooey or not. You have to take care of your skin. It's not, and it's not just about being a beauty product. Like I said, it's a protective all in one beyond beauty. You know, it's self-care.
Skin is literally, absolutely. You know, beauty's in the eye of the beholder. We all agree, right? But like your health is directly seen in your skin. You know, whatever's going on that's off with us, our skin is the first place you notice it. You know what I mean? And that's just where this comes in real handy. You know what I mean?
You know, and just in general, self-care is so important to teach our kids. My kid's 7, and we didn't have school last year, but I tell you what, every day I made Kush get up and do his hair, brush his teeth, get dressed. And in the summer, he has to put a sunscreen on. So he knows in the morning, no matter if we're going anywhere or not, we need to do self-care. And I think when you do self-care every day, you don't have to go curl your hair every day, whatever. But if you're doing something like a self-care ritual that has something that can affect your mind, body, and spirit, like essential oils do, because they're not only good for us for our skin, they're just good for our senses. You know, peppermint oil can uplift you, lavender can calm you. I mean, it does something to your senses. So just that alone, it's that aphrodisiac feeling, you know, you just crave it. Yeah, you want it.
You play with plants, you know, every plant has a purpose.
Yes,
you know, I mean, it's just what
Look
it
at
is.
aloe. I mean, aloe is an amazing super plant. I mean, there's so many amazing plants, but to be able to have access to this cannabis plant now in beauty is just amazing for me, and I'm so happy.
Well, congrats.
When did you start like utilizing cannabis or making it part of your skincare routine? Like how many years has that been?
I launched Potency right before the Farm Bill passed. I would say about a year before I had started to creep in. You know, we have cannabis dispensaries as well. We're in the weed. We're in the industry for over 10 years. So we've been connected to the plant in LA for a while. And so I would say about a year before that, I had started experimenting, playing around, and then worked with a formulator and started doing things, you know, on the back end and trying different things out for myself. And I had pigmentation down my nose and I'm dark hair, dark eyes, but I get the little freckles. So I was my own guinea pig in the beginning, and I did all the before photos. I'll have to share my before photo with you one time. But I had so many little freckles down my nose that was obviously sun damage. And then as you get older, those little freckles start to get bigger, and you know, that is eventually sun damage after a while. So I would say right before the Farm Bill passed is when I trademarked, and I had to redo my trademark because I submitted it before CBD was even legal. And so they
I go, sorry, we can't that.
I know it's coming.
Yeah, they're like, what the hell is she trying to do? So I got an attorney.
Damn
And
drug
I'm like,
dealers.
yeah, right. I got an attorney and I'm
Best
like,
application.
I may need help with this part because I did it all myself and had it ready to go. But when they came back and said, this isn't going to take, I'm like, what? And so then the farm bill had passed, obviously, by the time I got my response back. And my attorney said, don't worry, let's just resubmit. And so we resubmitted and then I got it. And it was like,
That's fantastic.
so now
Right.
I'm a trademarked company, so that's a nice little thing too. So
Absolutely.
just to have a cannabis product trademarked is pretty cool.
Very
Yeah,
cool.
very cool.
But
It's a cool
and
milestone, man. Yeah.
do what, Lowe's?
It's a nice milestone, you know what I mean? From
Yeah.
concept to like business being ran,
To say no. Every day I worry. Even I was paranoid coming out with this beauty product because of the way the media makes you feel and the way the merchants and the banks were making me feel in the beginning.
Yeah.
I felt like somebody's going to knock on my door and say, you're selling illegal face creams. And I'm like, what? So
Right.
even, and
No.
believe me, my door had been knocked on a bunch throughout my dad's life, of the police really standing there. So I'm thinking, I
Right.
had this fear, like, am I going to be in trouble? Is this really, what's the big deal? And so
Right.
it was a while before I felt kind of comfortable. Like I'm not going to get arrested for selling beauty products.
Sure.
No, you're even though this whole industry really has a lot to climb with that, having it being a non-ingestible has a real big different. It has a different kind of feeling, and you don't really fall into a lot of those weird new drug categories. You know what I mean? As long as you keep your
Easier.
verbiage, it's a little bit easier, more acceptable with banking and stuff. Once you start getting inside people's bodies, they worry about
Then-
that, children and pets. And there's nothing really to. That's kind of like the core focus. So sad. that
Yeah,
we're
so I'm
about it.
on the safer side. I'm on the safer side, but I still felt very scared in the beginning.
Oh,
So-
you have to. Yeah.
because it was so early on. I kind of just hid for a little bit. But I'm very proud at how the lines turned out. I'm very happy that you girls both tried it and really saw a big difference. I mean, I sold a bottle because of Mama F's 21-day challenge. Someone said they watched her skin change in the 21-day video challenge. And so they said, I bought only because of her face looking better.
Yeah.
Because I did that whole challenge with no makeup. So you would absolutely, nothing, not a drop of anything. So you would see exactly what the fuck I was working with.
Yeah, no, what a nice side venture. Yeah.
That was cool.
Yeah.
It was pretty. Well, you looked beautiful, and you're literally to like a porcelain state right now. Like it looks so good and smooth.
I know. No,
I'm proud
very
of it.
proud of you. Yeah. And then, and thank you for having a product that got her so that we can now shop where we want to shop. And I can talk about things. That's fair. Is like what I talk about,
Everything.
My new mascara. She didn't care before.
I have a new, I'm always putting out new content and new photo shoots. So another thing that my supply chain team was talking to me about the other day, they said, this isn't just a product anymore. This is a lifestyle. You now have a lifestyle.
Yeah.
And so I have a new photo shoot
That's
coming
so
up.
cool.
July 22nd, I'm going to do this cool photo shoot. We've rented this amazing space in LA, and I'm going to have some potted plants delivered and
fantastic.
So it'll be real. I have this it looks like a real it's a jaguar statue in this space that we rented.
Yeah.
So I'm going to put this gold chain around the jaguar's neck like I'm leading it into the cannabis forest, because I'm going to have all those potted plants. And behind the jaguar, I was going to have like pill bottles and wine bottles, like he's leaving that life and going back to nature.
Oh, I love that. I love
Star who, girl?
It's going to be so cool.
Man, that's really cool idea.
And I'm having just a diverse group of people in this shoot. It's going to be really, really cool shoot.
Oh, I can't wait to see it. Yeah, I can't wait to see it.
I'm so excited. It's going to be fun. Yeah, it'll be fun.
Fantastic.
Now, if someone was looking to buy some of your products, where would they go? Because I believe you even sell samples of some of your products. So if they wanted to like try something, okay.
I do. I did that because so many people were asking for samples. And, in the beginning, of course, I was just mailing them out, giving them out for free. And I'm like, okay, this is not going to be a good idea. Because if I'm getting busier and I cannot send out 100 sample packs in a day at $3.50 a pop shipping, So I made it to where they were, basically I make no money.
If we knew.
Yeah, basically I make no money off the samples, but I know that those sample packs will turn into a sell. It's
for
just
sure.
getting it into their hand, and it always does. It's proven that that's working. So I put 4 of the products in the sample pack. I put the cleanser, the mist, the serum, and a sunscreen sample so that they kind of can test it all. And then it's only $7.10, and I pay the shipping. So to just try it, you go to potency710.com, and then there's the sample pack. Just add it in there. And like I said, I pay the shipping, and I also am on a few other websites, but my main website is potency710.com.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Awesome. Thank
And
you.
they can message you there if they have questions.
Yeah, or on LinkedIn. I reply to every single message on LinkedIn.
Excellent.
So it's so hard, but I do. I try to reply to everyone. Everyone is a person to me. They are people. I'm applying. I'm talking. I don't care if you're buying from me or not. You're a person, and I need to be respectful and say hello.
Good
so
job.
It's really. They're like, "Can you go to WhatsApp?" I'm like, "Look, dude, you got me here. Be lucky you got me here. I'm not trying to go to WhatsApp. I don't need that many new friends." Yeah.
I think we did the WhatsApp for like one day, and then what happened after it was like, oh, we can't do. Oh God.
And now I go on Clubhouse, and then now we have Clubhouse, and I'm like, I can't keep up with all of this stuff, and I'm doing a lot of it on my own, and a lot of people are like, your content has been fire, and I'm like, good, because I'm the one doing it. I didn't know if it sucked or not.
No, he's telling me thank you, nothing. Lonely fucking job up here, man.
So I definitely can be reached on LinkedIn under Mandy Lile, and then my Potency Facebook page I have, and then I have I'm throwing something over there at my workers. They're all talking too loud, and then I just threw the mist. I'm on a live podcast, and they're just over there just I'm throwing stuff across. Use some mist.
You guys taking applications for part-time work?
Yeah, that's my kind of workplace.
Oh, listen to this. My girl that works for me and helps me a lot. She kayaks to work. I don't know if you caught that video, but we live on a lake, and she kayaks to work. And I told her when she first started working here, I said, the only requirement for working for Potency is that you need to smoke weed, because we take a lot of weed breaks. And she was like, no problem.
Right.
It's official. You're
I was cannot wait to be on a piece of land that I can kayak anywhere. Like, no, it's terrible.
I know, right? You're not getting too far over there on that.
Sorry, we're just daydreaming. Like,
but I'm so proud. You have a good. You don't need any sunscreen at that beach, so you're okay.
Do you have a few more minutes for us if we throw some random get to know Mandy questions at you?
Sure.
That's our favorite part. Okay.
Yeah, we're gonna start. She's gonna start. We'll go this way.
On a scale of 1 to 10, how good are you at cooking?
Probably a 6.
That's solid.
So she's from the South. She's gonna have some meals.
I do got to tell you this. I always make my table, the presentation always is beautiful. So if the food sucks, they can't leave and say, well, everything sucked. At least they can say, well, the table was pretty.
This is your artistry. This is a clever setup, no doubt.
You enjoy the view.
Oh, good stuff. Who was your first celebrity crush?
I don't know. I mean, I always just thought George Clooney was super handsome. And I actually met George the first weekend that I moved here, and he's from Kentucky. George Clooney.
Is he as good looking in person?
He is, and he's super nice. I went up to him. We had a table next to each other. We had a table next to each other at Rock Bar when I first moved here. It used to be a club that Tommy Lee, I think, did. And so George had a table next to us, and my friends went out to smoke. They smoked cigarettes. I didn't smoke cigarettes ever. And they went out to smoke. And so when they went out to smoke, I got up and I tapped George on the shoulder and I said, "Hi, I'm your neighbor." And he said, he looked at me and I said, "Literally, I'm from Kentucky." And he goes, and looked at me, and he stood up and he sat me down in the booth. So now I'm trapped in the booth, and we're talking about Kentucky, and he's like, he's from like Mayfield area, 2,300 people maybe. I mean, real small.
Wow.
So we talked about Kentucky, and my friends came back in from smoking, and they were like this.
Be there in a minute, guys.
Yeah, we left you for 5 minutes.
And so I told George, I said, I'll see you around, because I had just moved here. I said, I'm sure I'll see you around. And literally, this is before he was married and had the kids and all that. He just kissed me right on the cheek. And I went over to my friends. I'm like, I'm never washing this cheek again.
I'm never washing this shit, guys.
And I mean, I'm the girl that takes my makeup off every single night, no matter how much I've ever partied till the morning time, my makeup comes off. But that day I was probably
sleeping in it for 3 days if I had to.
I was just gonna let that ride for a little while.
No, that's awesome. He always seems like he's kind of got that backdoor sarcasm that I'm really attracted to.
Yeah. I like, you know,
90% of a dick.
I got to tell you guys also something cool. I met another name I met this past year was Brad Pitt. And let me tell you something Brad's been doing. Brad, every Friday during COVID, him and Flea were showing up to this place over near Compton area. I don't want to say where, so the paparazzi don't run to it. But every Friday they feed over 500 families. And I was going on Fridays to do this. And little did I know that Flea provides all the hot meals. And I thought that was amazing. And Brad bought all the carts because he noticed these people were coming to get food, but they weren't driving there because they don't have cars. They're homeless.
Right.
And they didn't have anything to take their goods home with. So he bought everybody in that community carts. To push the pushing carts. So I had a different, I never really loved Brad, but after I met him and I saw what he did for the people and how he treated the people, then now I do. I wouldn't say I have a crush on him, but I do like what Brad Pitt's doing for the people that.
I mean, I would assume Hollywood has a really quick way of dehumanizing people because they are their own brand and their image, but they are human beings, you know, and that's really cool to hear that. That's obviously, as you know, an issue Gina and I are really overwhelmed with, you know, so look for ways, and that's really cool to hear something similar like that. So.
Yeah, I love it, and I love going there. I got to tell you, when I leave there, it's the best feeling in the world to know that I just helped 500 people in a matter of a couple hours.
Yeah.
It just gives you a high. You're high naturally. It's just your endorphins are just know you did that. It's
well, they're not doing it for publicity or for someone to, you know,
nobody even knows.
No one would even know this existed if you didn't say that. Like that's when it fucking matters.
I had no idea they were going to be there when I got there. And the guy that invited me to come had saw me on LinkedIn trying to help a gentleman who had just got a job. And it was on this weird Reddit post. And I said, somebody tell me how I can find this gentleman. I want to send him a year's worth of self-care. I was going to like hook him up with self-care so that he could feel confident, you know, at his first job. He just got his new outfit and his new car. So all these people started reaching out to me on the back end saying, if you find this guy, let us know. We want to help him with his wardrobe, whatever he needs. And I never could find the guy. But this other guy reached out and said, I know 500 people that you can come and help feed on Fridays. I said, well, where is it? I'm there.
Yeah.
So that felt really good. So those are probably those are my two. But I love George Clooney. I think he's so cute.
That's beautiful.
Oh, yeah, right. And right on, sister. Thank you for that. You know?
I mean, we're all in this together. You know, people are always so worried about themselves. Like, I don't care what the fuck situation you're in. There's someone out way worse. I mean, way worse.
And
you got to give to get. You got to give to get.
Yeah. And you touched in on it, you know, like the rewards, like, you know, they're in for themselves. If they even could, conceptualize what that does for them, you know, but practicing it, like you actually get that reward. You know what I mean? It's in a different kind of way.
The universe pays you back. The whole
Absolutely.
universe pays you back. And just like sometimes my husband says, you're way too nice. And I'm like, I'm not, don't tell me I'm too nice. I'm nice. That's just me. And if the person I'm being nice to isn't nice back to me, I don't give a shit because it's the person that comes along next that may hold that door for me.
Right. That's not my job to be their personality. It's my job to be my personality.
Right. Yeah. So I'll hold the door. He's like, why are you going to hold the door that long? They're going to be 5 minutes before they get up here. I'm like, because I know they're coming with a handful of groceries. And the next time I show up to that door, somebody's going to open it for me. I don't care if it's going on.
Right. 100%.
You just got to do good. And the way that we've been, and the way that we can market a lot of people are like, how are you marketing? And it's been really hard. It has, because you can't do, they cut all my paid social ads off. I'm a bad person online on social media. They cut me all off. But I didn't care, because I didn't think Mark Zuckerberg needed another damn dime anyway. And I'm okay. Even if I can put another ad up on Facebook and they give me $1,000 credit tomorrow and say, here you go, I'm going to, no, thank you.
Yeah.
Right. I feel the same way.
I will sponsor somebody's event. I will sponsor someone's party, whatever it is. I sponsor. That way we're cross marketing. I'm helping someone. That person's getting help. I'm helping myself. We're cross marketing. Right. Now another crowd of people know who I am that didn't know. Right. And and helping people, everything just comes back full circle. It just happens. It just does. So I think
you're serving both,
I'm
and it's
fine without Mark Zuckerberg.
Yeah.
Right.
Now yeah. We have a video about it, actually, where we can really tell you how you feel.
Farewell video. Yeah.
Yeah. It's
hello there, everybody. Oh yeah. Nice.
They need to go smoke one.
A lot of ones.
Okay. Sunrise or sunset? What do you prefer?
This is a good one, because
lady on the water.
Right. And that's what I did this same question to my people recently, because I was out with this beautiful, the sun going down. I think to me, I like to watch the sun come up. I think I like to watch it come up better than it go down. But I think I like sunrise. I like to watch it come up, and it's so cute because these little birds gather on this house down the street, and that's when I know when the sun's about to pop up, because I never know exactly what time of the day it's going to pop up. Sometimes it's a little different. And so I watch the little birds, and when I see them line up on that house, then I know that the sun's fixing to pop up. But I don't get to see many sunrises. I remember running from the sunrise because I used to party till sunrise, and I used to say, "Put the blinds down, the sun's coming up, and the birds are singing." And now I'm out there listening to the birds and watching the sun come up.
Oh, that's awesome.
So sunrise, I like sunrise. Yeah.
Sunrise,
beautiful, brand new day.
Yeah, and it's just kind of to watch it just pop up. It's just, I don't know, it just seems kind of magical than it just going down.
Yeah, I'm more of a sunset person, but I like nightlife better. But when I was in Florida, I actually did that like slow time lapsing of the sunrise, because it was just where I was, and I was like, oh, I can catch a nice sunrise here, and I was like, oh, this is really nice. Like,
it was so beautiful.
Yeah, this is so worth getting up at 4:00 in the morning and standing in a pile of sand fleas.
You got it, and it's the Arizona sky, because I'm on the border of Arizona. We go between two homes. Our dispensaries are over here in the Needles, California area. So this is our second home, but we've been here mostly since COVID, because the energy in LA had just sucked. And it looks like if you shut your eyes when you go underneath the underpass and you open it, it looks like you'd think you'd been in an apocalypse, because there's just so much garbage everywhere. It's very sad there right now. And the sky is not as magical as Arizona. This Arizona sky is magical.
No, it really is. Yeah.
You're at the border, so you're South Arizona? Where are you?
I'm in Mojave Valley, Arizona. I'm like on the border of, like, my dispensaries are in Needles, so they're like literally over a bridge. Like, I go out, I turn left, I go over a bridge, and I'm in California. Sometimes I'm in three states in one day. I'll be in Nevada, Arizona, and California in a matter of minutes. So that's really cool.
Wow, yeah.
But I'll share the view with y'all this morning.
Oh my God.
This is my backyard. My little boat that I get on. So pretty. And at the end over there, at the very end, at the nighttime, when the fountains shut off and it's super, super quiet, it's almost like I feel like I've gotten further. I can't go any further. I feel like I'm not at the end of the world, but I'm at the end of where I can go. I don't know if I just had so many aha moments, but I just felt like that it was just so serene that I was like, I'm so content inside and so satisfied that I felt like there was nothing else past those mountains. Like, that was the end of the world. You know what I'm saying? Like, nothing else was past those.
You're exactly where you're supposed to be.
Really magical at nighttime here. Really magical.
I can only imagine.
Gorgeous, Mandy. It is absolutely gorgeous. What body of water is that?
It's the Colorado River.
It is.
It flows through my backyard. Across the street is some larger homes that are actually on the river. But I was worried because I have a 7-year-old that he would be on the river, and me not know it. Where this lake is, I can control a little bit more about this lake. It's not as deep, and the current is nothing like the river. So I was nervous having a young child right off the river because those houses are like on embankments,
No,
that's how it is here too. I know.
Different kind of mindset daily about your surrounding, for sure. Yeah.
Right. I wouldn't have had peace. How old is Mama Epps? How old is your little boy?
He'll be 8 next month.
Okay, so Kush is 7. He's 7. Oh, y'all do know my.
Yeah.
Oh, we gotta have a play date, y'all. We'll have to have a play date. But
yeah, we'll come to you, honey.
yeah, you come have a guest house for all y'all, so don't worry. But my son's name is Kushton. In case y'all didn't know, we spell it.
I did not know. It's awesome.
It's Kushton. Kushton. I literally made it up. My mom said, "Why didn't you just name him Dimebag?" She was so mad. She was so mad.
Called him Kush. I was like, it's the cutest nickname ever for obvious reasons.
I'm like, Dimebag? Really?
Dimebag.
Yeah.
Oh,
so
expect anything else, really? Come on.
We call him Kush, and he doesn't have any clue at how cool his name is yet.
No, but he will one day.
He does know what cannabis is. We call it medicine. We don't smoke in the home. Right. We only smoke outside. So he's never like in a closed room with it. I've been very careful keeping him away from all kinds of smoke, cigarette smoke, any kind of smoke that's around. Sure. But everybody asks, what does he think about cannabis? And I guess he just looks at it as a medicine, as any other thing that's in the cabinet he knows he can't touch, except his little elderberry gummies. Yeah. So if he sees me sees me smoking, I say, I'm having my medicine. Can you please go back over on that side? Right. And then I'll be over there in a minute. So I try to keep it away from him, but I have to tell you a real quick funny story before we hang up. I was going out to an event one night and I had my tray with my grass there. And this is probably horrible to say on live, but I had my tray with my raw rolling paper there. And I was waiting for my people to get to me because we were going to go to this. Yeah, just like that at my house. So I had that laying on the table, and I usually put it up in a place where it's like in a cabinet you can't actually get to. And so I usually have it up high. But I had set it down low because I was getting dressed and my friends were going to start showing up to my house. We were going to go to this cannabis speakeasy. That's a secret little place that you can go. It's amazing. And they pair the cannabis instead of wine. They pair it with cannabis. It's a secret place. Like there's even a secret door to go in to find this place. Like it's super cool.
Arizona or California?
It's LA. It's LA. Yeah.
Oh, okay. It was Melbourne wherever we go. It's like my favorite period of time.
Awesome.
It's beautiful. It looks like you're walking into like a Great Gatsby era too.
Yeah.
It's super cool. So anyway, I was in the bathroom getting dressed and I had laid the tray out on my kitchen table and I thought I'll go do my hair, wait for my friends to show up, and then I was going to send Kush next door because my in-laws live next door, which is really convenient. So I hadn't sent him over there yet, but I'd set the tray out and I'm in there getting dressed and my kid comes to me in the bathroom and says, "Mom, I fixed this for you." And I said, "What is it?" And it was a damn road joint.
Did he tighten it up for you?
Pretty damn good. But I gotta tell you, I put it.
He rolled that for you. That's awesome.
I put it in his baby book for his first joint.
Dude. Yeah.
We have your first lock of hair, your first tooth, your first roll joint.
First roll joint. That's awesome. Fuck.
I was like, "Oh my God."
That makes you a very good mom. It's really
I was mortified. I just looked at him and I said, "It's time to go to grandma's."
Let's not talk about that. Yeah. Holy shit. Well, that's fantastic.
Hilarious.
We moved to Washington out there, and Jax was 1. I mean, he turned 2 out there, so he's in the garden with me at 2 years old. He's watering, he's pulling leaves, like it's him. It's a plant and it's medicine. That's it.
That's it. That's it. I mean, when I can't compare it to what people, I don't like when they compare it to wine, but I mean, obviously that's what people are okay with doing is they have bottles of wine sitting in the refrigerator. I've got lots of plants in my cabinet. So
right.
We're getting there. We're getting there. It's just going to
I
take
think
forever.
so, sister. I think so. Right up. It's going to take forever.
In Mama Epps' turn, it's going to take forever.
Just so you know, now, all you're going to see is that slogan everywhere I possibly can.
But we've got forever.
We've got forever.
The other day, I told people, I was like, do you know if you I put something about your endocannabinoid system, and I said, just Google ACS. You're probably going to be mad people didn't tell you had one. You know?
That's in one of my videos. You're not going to believe this because you've been lied to your whole life, but you have this. Like,
your entire life, you've been lied to.
Right.
I mean, even if you go back to like when they discovered it, I mean, that conversation should be at least 35 years old by now. It's not. It's not. We have some ignorance, but we can't claim 40 years of it, for fuck's sake.
I mean, really? I know. Isn't that, it's just everything. It's everything they never wanted us to know, is what I think.
Yeah. Thank you, Internet.
Right.
Oh, yeah. A place you most want to travel.
I've traveled a lot. But one of my favorite places, I do like Europe. I like the European feel. But if it was somewhere closer, I like Bahamas. I think Bahamas is always a nice little jump in a plane to go to. But yeah, I like the European feel too. So
yeah, very nice.
I've literally traveled around the world with my first fiance, the doctor. So we had traveled around the world, and he was doing surgeries, televised surgeries on like blepharoplasties and facial plastics and nose.
Wow.
So I got to see a lot of stuff.
Yeah,
So and I've been to every spa you can imagine, and that's how I think I learned what I loved, what I didn't like. You know, when I go to a spa, if I'm in the room and I hear a clock ticking, a tick, 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 I can't lay there. I'm like, you're going to have to unplug your clock. You know, so I'm real picky about how the room feels. You know, I need it to be this Zen moment. So I knew when I was doing facials, I had this level of what my facials were like, and everybody when they left were like, I felt like I was floating. I'm like, yeah, because I didn't have a second hand on my clock. Tick, tick,
right.
tick, tick. So little details like that are what I think I learned just by having those services done myself of what I liked.
Sure.
You know, so I'm pretty picky.
In more exotic places, no doubt. Love it.
Yeah. All right. Last but not least, who inspires you daily?
Wow. I think I get inspired by probably Harry. That's my partner in life, and Harry has got so much patience. And I mean, I'm watching him just grow this cannabis business for the past 10 years and all the things he's been through. And I just look up to him, and he inspires me for all the patience that he has, because I would have already drove my car through the city building with a machine gun.
Oh,
so,
fuck right.
Yeah.
No, I hear you on that. Yeah.
I think he inspires me for the slow, steady wins the race. He's not trying to run. We're not asking for investors. We're doing it all ourselves, and we're not worried, you know, or trying to do anything in a hurry. We're just slow and steady wins the race over here with us. So
no, and it gives you time to identify the actual rewards, right? I mean,
yeah.
when you sometimes when you move fast to something, you only can see the money of something. You know, this really makes you humble to the experience. It focuses you in different ways. You know, you really start to look at the world you're not living in anymore, which is like working for somebody else, and really start to like hone in on what is valuable and what am I going to nurture, you know?
Well, as much as like we're all going to make money, like we know that's coming. You know what I mean? There's not a doubt that's coming, but the level that you're changing lives. Like, I'm going to go back to that, because I know that's not going to pay your mortgage this month, but it's going to put your heart in a place that's going to take you through the stratosphere, because you know that's not you hoping that happens. That's been proven time and time again. And I don't know if anything's better than that, Mandy. I'm dead serious.
I'm serious. I'm so happy too, and I'm happy that y'all see that too. It means a lot, because I love you girls. But
absolutely,
it's hard to believe that I'm changing lives, but I am. I mean,
yes.
And like Lois said, sometimes I feel like I go so fast because I have so many emails and so many people reaching out to me that I can't really absorb it all some days, and I really want to absorb it all. So I like the fact that I'm trying to go, more slow and steady.
Yes. And I think people will respect that because they know you're in it for the right reasons, and they're not going to feel like you're rushed. They're being rushed.
My guys get mad at me all the time because I don't I don't like numbers. I don't like somebody to tell me you need to do this, you need to do that. This is what your numbers need to be at. I'm like, look, I'm doing this because I'm passionate about it, and that's what's driving me. And if I look at those numbers, it may be what stresses me out and makes me not have a passion for it. So I don't care about the numbers. Unless I'm in the red, don't tell me what I need to be doing. Just let me keep
that's
going.
all going to come. Right.
It's going to come. It's going to come.
Milestones of being able to bring in different types of new employees and things like that. These are all little monuments of growth. Right. And it keeps you focused on your purpose and your mission, and then in the leader of that situation. Right. I don't do shit with the numbers. I don't know. I don't even know how to use a calculator to do it. So
me either. I don't know what I mean? Yeah, I'm just moving along. I'm going on positivity. And also, there's something else a lot of people can't believe. But in 3 years since launching, I was 3 in March. I've never had a return.
Wow, that's awesome.
That's awesome.
So
cool.
that to me,
that's huge.
That's huge.
That's huge. That could actually help a lot of people in our industry as we're trying to get credit card processing and all the evidence of chargebacks they have, of why it's such a shitty high risk. Right. Yeah, fuck that.
Right.
Yeah, so time.
I'm like, fuck. No time for a tangent today.
I had mine earlier today, so I'm already on my tangents in the morning.
At least one a day.
Well, I'm so happy to talk to you.
Thank you. Honey, please. Thank you so much.
So much for your time. This has been amazing.
Yeah, thank you for bringing potency into our life, for multiple personal reasons. We really, really want to continue to support it. We put it on our website after we did our little reviews and stuff, and we're trying to build off of that, with the products that we approve of. And you're super the first that we've actually done that for.
Thank you.
Now,
thank you.
So thank you.
Well, before we let you go here, is there any little words of advice for maybe someone like me who formerly didn't give a flying fuck about my face?
Obviously, it's never too late to start, and it's not just about beauty; it's beyond beauty. It's about self-care. So, my main thing that I like to try to say in the end to everybody is just be kind, because I feel like in the world that's a little crazy, just be kind, and that to me, kindness is a superpower, and I just want more people to be kind.
Oh, I love that. Thank you.
Oh, love it.
Be kind and beautiful.
And glowing. Be glowing.
No, I mean, seriously.
Just be kind and always help other people, and never think that a brand coming out is a competitor. To me, we're riding in the same ocean, and we're trying to get there at the same destination.
I'm really glad you said that. I'm a
big supporter. Girl, on my Instagram stories, pretty much everything is not even me. It's other faces, other people, other people's brands.
That's how we are.
Share. Yeah. I'm always trying to share what other people are doing in this industry too. As part of education,
Yeah, we're all in this together, and people.
We all have to work parallel with each other. We're all working towards the same goals in a lot of ways. And while healthy competition is fun, and it's needed, in a marketplace, but we really have to be a little more humble.
I like what Prima, Christopher Gavin that does Prima, who was part of Jessica Alba Honest Company. Christopher Gavin's doing a lot of cool things with their brand of CBD products that they have. And I love that they're putting out that money to do all those studies, because that helps us. That helps us.
For sure.
No,
for sure.
Absolutely.
So I cheerlead him people
the people that get salty about, the celebrities or other people coming in, we're like, no, we need to welcome that, because that's the money you and I don't have to get those results.
Girl, as soon as I see a CBD brand, I'm the first person to go on and say, hey, I'm Mandy. Nice to meet you. If there's anything I can ever do for you, let me know. I've been in the space for about 3 years. I always try to open up with a conversation to other brands, and they're like, oh my gosh, I'm so glad you're connected. They can't believe I'm reaching out to them. And I'm like,
they're surprised to be
your people. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
right.
But it's definitely the way to lead, I think, with kindness.
Yes.
Thank you. And what a beautiful way to end.
Yeah, thank you. In our Hemp History Month, I think great message, and thank you, Mandy, for sure.
Yes. Can we reserve the right to bring you back in a few months, see where you're at.
Oh, yeah. And you're going to have the right to hop on a plane and come see me soon, too.
Paddle up into your backyard. Thank you.
I hope the latter comes first because I'm already ready for my vacation.
Yes, that sounds lovely. We'll meet you on the border of Nevada, Arizona, and California. Okay,
I'll send y'all matching kayaks, I guess. You can start at your end and start coming this way.
Yeah. We'll wear our potency hats and fannies.
That's right.
You'll know.
Thanks, you girls.
Thanks again. Appreciate you.
Bye, beautiful people. Bye.
Bye. Oh, Lo. You know, we were so excited about Mandy just because she's just a blessing. I mean, she's just full of positivity and light, and you heard kindness, and that's how she leads every day.
I mean, it's really quite a metaphor. It's like talking to her is like putting the gold serum on your face. You know, the love's in the bottle, the love's like in the personality. You know, I mean, you know, and you know, again, being an esthetician and seeing, you know, something that needed to be changed and being able to fulfill a lifestyle change. I mean, she's right when she says she has a lifestyle brand, 100%.
Yeah, and the education
around her to fill that and give her that kind of advice because she really can.
Yes,
you know, she's in a good position to do that because the fucking products work. So
give her a chance to change your life.
Yeah,
she'll change your life if you let her.
Right, just let her change your life.
And like you heard, there's a sample pack. So you know, if you're not ready to spend, you know, $80 or whatever the case may be, spend $7 and do an entire routine on your face for a week. And see how you feel. And
then like go a week without it, see how much you're suffering. And then make a phone call, get online. And she's got a great club subscription to help people with that. Because again, it's important. Your skin is important.
Right. As I found out late in life. Don't be me. Don't be me.
Just like Gina, it takes forever.
It shouldn't take forever. But here we are.
Yeah.
Okay, so whether you are watching us, our glowing faces, or listening to us,
bye.
Thank you so much for your time, and we will see you next week on the Happy Hour.
Yes.
One love.
It's happening.